This person that's coming into your energy, or for some of you already quietly circling your energy, they want to be your safe place. And I feel like with this last quarter moon card coming out first, this is not even just about love coming in. This is about you finally releasing the version of love that made you feel like you had to be on guard all the time. Because I feel like you've been in connections where your body never fully relaxed. Like, even if they said they loved you, even if there was attraction, even if there was chemistry, there was still this little voice inside of you saying, okay, but when is the shift coming? When are they going to pull away? When are they going to make me feel too much? When am I going to have to start fighting to be seen again? And this last quarter moon is giving me this energy of you're done with that. Like your soul is tired, your heart is tired, your nervous system is tired. And what's crazy is I feel like this person can sense that. They can sense that you don't need someone who comes in loud. You don't need someone who comes in playing games. You don't need someone who makes your anxiety feel like passion. You need peace. And when I tell you this person wants to be that peace, I mean, they want to come into your life in a way that helps you lay something down. The overthinking, the hyper independence, the need to read between the lines, the need to prove that you're lovable. You're not going to have to fight this person to love you. And I feel like that's the part that might almost scare you at first because safe love can feel unfamiliar when you're used to love feeling like survival. But this person is coming in with this very calm, emotionally present energy. Like, I'm not here to make you question yourself. I'm not here to make you chase. I'm here to show you that love can feel steady. And 222, when I say that, this is the release before the receiving. And with this Five of Pentacles coming out reversed, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because upright, this card can feel like being left out in the cold. Feeling like you're right outside the warmth, right outside the love, right outside the place where you're supposed to feel chosen. But reversed, this feels like coming back inside. This feels like your heart slowly realizing, wait, I don't have to keep standing at the door of somebody's life begging them to let me in. I don't have to keep proving that I'm worth warmth. I don't have to keep accepting love that makes me feel emotionally homeless. And for some of you, that's the version of love you're releasing right now. The kind where you were technically connected to someone, but still felt alone. The kind where you had access to their words, maybe even their body, maybe even their attention sometimes, but you didn't have safety, you didn't have consistency, you didn't have that feeling of, I can rest here. And this is why the last quarter moon energy feels so important, because it's not just saying release the person. It's saying release the posture you had to take in order to survive the person. Release the bracing. Release the waiting for disappointment. Release the part of you that got so used to being left out emotionally that you started preparing for rejection before it even happened. Because this person coming in, they don't want you outside in the cold. They don't want you guessing where you stand. They don't want you feeling like love is this locked room and you have to perform, chase, shrink, or beg to get access to it. When I tell you they want to be your safe place, I mean, this person wants you to feel included in their heart, included in their plans, included in their emotional world. Like there's a seat for you. Like there's room for you. Like you're not too much. Like your softness is not a burden. And I feel like what's going to make this different is this person is not just peaceful by accident. They're paying attention. They're noticing the places where you flinch. They're noticing what you don't say. And they're already trying to figure out how to approach you in a way that doesn't make you feel like you have to protect yourself from love again. And with this Two of Wands coming out reversed, I feel like this person is being very careful about timing, because upright, the Two of Wands can be that energy of planning, looking ahead, deciding how to move, deciding which direction to take. But reversed, this doesn't feel like someone who is confused about you. This feels like someone who is holding back just enough because they don't want to come in wrong. Like the energy I'm getting is this person may be more aware than they let on. They may not say everything immediately. They may not rush in with all these big declarations, because I feel like they can tell that big words don't really impress you anymore. Not after what you've been through. Not after people said the right things but didn't have the emotional consistency to match it. So this person feels patient. They feel emotionally observant. And again, not perfect. I don't want to paint this as somebody who has never had fear, never had doubt, never had their own things to work through. But what feels different is they're not trying to make their uncertainty your problem. They're not coming in hot and cold just because they don't know how to regulate themselves. They're not using distance to feel powerful. This person is moving slower because they actually care about the impact they have on you. And I feel like for some of you, that's going to be new. Because you may be used to people wanting access to you without considering what that access costs you emotionally. People wanting your softness, your attention, your forgiveness, your patience, but not really asking, are you safe with me? Do you feel calm with me? Do my actions make your heart feel settled or stirred up? This person is asking those questions internally. And that's why their energy feels protective but not possessive, calm but not detached, interested but not overwhelming. Like they're standing at a distance for a second, not because they don't want to come closer, but because they're trying to understand the doorway. They're trying to understand how to enter your life without kicking up the old fear. And there's something very specific about the way they want to earn your trust. And with the star coming out, this is where it gets really soft, because the star is not loud healing. It's not someone forcing you to open up before you're ready. It's that quiet kind of healing where you realize, oh, I'm not bracing as much around this person. I'm not editing myself as much. I'm not trying to make myself easier to love, because I feel like some of you learned how to become low maintenance in situations where you actually had needs. You learned how to say, it's fine, when it wasn't fine. You learned how to not ask too many questions, not express too much emotion, not need too much reassurance. Because somewhere along the way, somebody made you feel like needing care was the same thing as being difficult. And the star is showing me that this person sees that. They see the part of you that wants love, but also doesn't want to be a problem for love. They see how you might pull back when you feel yourself getting attached. They see how you might wait quietly and watch, like, okay, are they going to change? Are they going to get tired of me? Are they going to act sweet now and then make me feel like I imagined it later? And I don't feel like they're taking that personally. That's important. This person doesn't feel like they're looking at your guardedness and saying, oh, you're too hard to reach. They're looking at it like something taught you to protect yourself this way. And that's a different kind of love, because old love may have made you feel punished for having a wound. Old love may have made you feel like your fear was annoying, like your need for clarity was pressure, like your desire for consistency was too much. But this person with the star here, they want to be gentle with the part of you that still expects the light to disappear. And I feel like their patience is not passive. They're not just sitting back doing nothing. They are consciously choosing over and over again to show you through consistency that this time love does not have to hurt first before it feels real. And with this 10 of Cups coming out reversed, I feel like this is why they understand you in a way that may surprise you, because the 10 of Cups upright can be that picture of emotional fulfillment, family, happiness, the dream, the place where everything feels safe. But reversed, it feels like somebody realizing that just because something looked like love or looked like home or looked like it should have been safe doesn't mean it actually was. And I feel like this person knows what that feels like. This is somebody who may have had their own experience with love that looked good on the outside, but behind closed doors, it didn't feel peaceful. Maybe they were in situations where affection was conditional, where happiness depended on not saying the wrong thing, where they had to keep the peace by abandoning themselves a little bit. And that's why they're not coming in to play with your healing, because they know what it feels like when love has a pretty picture, but the emotional foundation is unstable. And I don't feel like they're looking at you like, let me fix you. No, this feels more like, I recognize this. Like they recognize the way you might smile and still keep part of yourself hidden. They recognize the way you might be warm but careful, open but still watching, loving but still not fully convinced that love won't switch up on you. And for some of you, that's why this connection feels quiet but deep. Because it's not just attraction. It's not just, oh, I like how you look. I like your energy. It's something underneath that. It's this feeling of, I know what it took for you to still be soft after what disappointed you. And when I tell you this person wants to be your safe place, I feel like they're also trying to become the kind of person they once needed. Someone steady, someone honest, someone who doesn't make home feel like a place where you have to walk on eggshells. So what makes this different is not just the chemistry, it's the emotional recognition. And with this Two of Swords coming out, I feel like this emotional recognition is happening in a space where both of you might not be saying everything yet. Because the Two of Swords is that energy of the heart knowing something before the mind is ready to admit it. It's like, I feel this, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to fully look at it. And for you, I feel like part of this is protection, not rejection. Protection. You may feel the pull. You may feel the calm. You may feel that this person's energy doesn't hit your nervous system the same way past people did. But there's still a part of you that's like, let me not get ahead of myself. Let me not trust too fast. Let me not open the door all the way until I know this is real. And what's interesting is I feel like this person can feel that wall, but they're not offended by it. They're not trying to force a decision out of you. They're not trying to make you choose before your heart feels safe. They understand that your silence sometimes is not emptiness. It's your heart checking the room. And this connection feels quiet, but it's not weak. It's not boring. It's not nothing. It's almost like there's this invisible conversation happening underneath the actual conversation. Like a look, a pause, a small message, a check-in that seems simple on the surface, but feels different in your body. For some of you, this could start with somebody becoming more consistent than you expected. Somebody remembering something you said. Somebody checking on you without making it dramatic. Somebody showing up in these little ways where your mind is like, okay, calm down. But your heart is like, no, something about this feels safe. And I feel like they're drawn to the softness underneath your strength. They can tell you've had to be strong for a long time. They can tell you don't let everybody close. And instead of seeing that as a challenge to conquer, they see it as something to honor. Because this person doesn't just want access to you. They want to understand what your heart has been protecting itself from. And with this Four of Cups coming out reversed, I feel like what your heart has been protecting itself from is disappointment that became too familiar. Because upright, the Four of Cups can feel like emotional withdrawal. Like, I don't even know if I want to reach for anything anymore, because what if it just becomes another letdown? But reversed, this feels like the heart slowly becoming willing again. Not fully open all at once. Not reckless. Not just handing someone the keys to your inner world, but willing. And I feel like this person can sense that there's a part of you that has been sitting in this emotional place of, I'm tired of wanting something real and getting something almost. Almost consistency. Almost commitment. Almost honesty. Almost safety. And after a while, almost starts to feel insulting to the part of you that knows you deserve the whole thing. So when I say this person wants to protect you, I don't mean in a controlling way. I don't mean they want to come in and decide everything for you or make you dependent on them. This is not a cage. This is shelter. This is someone who wants to protect you from repeating cycles where you had to shrink your needs just to keep the connection, where you had to chase clarity, where you had to over-explain your feelings to someone who already understood. They just didn't want to be accountable, where you had to accept crumbs and then convince yourself you were full. This person doesn't want that for you. I feel like their energy says, you can exhale here. Like your shoulders don't have to stay up by your ears. Like silence doesn't have to mean punishment. Like a slower reply doesn't have to send your whole body into panic. Like love can have pauses without making you feel abandoned. And for some of you, this person may become protective of your heart before you even fully admit that your heart needs protecting. They may notice when you minimize something. They may notice when you say, it's okay, but your energy says it hurt. But there is still one major fear you may have to face before you can fully receive this. And with the Chariot coming out reversed, I feel like that fear has a lot to do with control. Because upright, the Chariot is movement. It's direction. It's knowing where something is going. But reversed, this feels like the part of you that gets uncomfortable when you can't force yourself to know the outcome. Like you may be used to surviving love by staying 10 steps ahead emotionally. Watching the tone, watching the timing, watching the shift. Trying to predict when someone is about to pull away so it doesn't catch you off guard. And I feel like safe love is going to challenge that because this person isn't giving you chaos to track. They're not making you chase. They're not making you decode everything. They're not giving you that intense high and low where your body mistakes anxiety for chemistry. And for some of you, that calm might feel strange at first. You might catch yourself thinking, is this boring? Is something missing? Are they really interested? Is this too good to be true? But I don't feel like that means the connection is wrong. I feel like it means your nervous system is learning a new language. Because when you've been used to survival love, peace can feel suspicious. Consistency can feel like the part before the disappointment. Emotional availability can feel like, okay, what do they want from me? And I feel like this person is not going to punish you for needing reassurance around that. They're not going to make you feel weak for needing clarity. They're not going to shame you for asking, are we okay? They're not going to act like your tenderness is an inconvenience. But I do feel like this connection is also going to gently ask you not to sabotage what you prayed for just because it doesn't come with the familiar adrenaline. Because this person is not here to be another cycle you have to manage. They're not here to make love feel like a vehicle you have to steer by yourself while someone else sits there emotionally unavailable. This is different. And the difference is this connection is going to ask you to receive love without performing for it. And with the Queen of Swords coming out reversed, I feel like this is where your guard starts to soften, but not because someone talked you out of having boundaries, not because someone convinced you to ignore what you know. This feels like you realizing you don't have to keep holding the sword up in every room just to make sure nobody gets close enough to hurt you. Because I feel like some of you have had to become very sharp with your discernment. You had to learn how to read tone, read silence, read what people avoided saying. You had to learn how to protect your peace because somebody else kept disturbing it and then acting like you were the problem for reacting. So receiving love without performing for it may feel like learning how to put the sword down without abandoning yourself. And that's what this person's consistency changes. Doesn't make you forget everything you've been through. It doesn't erase your standards. It just gives your heart a different kind of evidence. Evidence that you don't have to spiral every time there's a pause. Evidence that you don't have to check your phone with that tight feeling in your chest. Evidence that you don't have to wonder every night, do they still feel the same? Did I say too much? Did I do something wrong? This love feels like more room. More room to be soft. More room to be honest. More room to say, I need reassurance, without feeling like you just handed someone ammunition. More room to have a bad day and not worry that your mood is going to make somebody love you less. And I feel like that's the part that's going to hit you quietly. Not in some dramatic movie scene way. More like one day you're going to notice, I'm not as anxious as I used to be. I'm not shrinking myself. I'm not trying to earn basic care. Because this person's steadiness teaches your body that love does not have to be paid for with suffering. And for some of you, this is going to feel like an answer to a prayer you barely said out loud. Like something in you whispered, please just let love feel safe this time. And the final message here is really about why this person is entering now and what you need to remember when they do. And with the Lovers coming out reversed, what you need to remember when they do is that this is not just about somebody choosing you. This is about you no longer choosing love that makes you abandon yourself. Because the Lovers upright can be connection, attraction, alignment, that feeling of, okay, this means something. But reversed, it can show where love was present, but peace wasn't. Where chemistry was there, but safety wasn't. Where you felt pulled towards someone, but that pull kept dragging you away from your own center. And I feel like that is what the last quarter moon has been helping you release. Not love itself, not hope, not your softness, but the version of love that confused your body, the version that drained your spirit, the version that made you beg for basic care and then question whether you were asking for too much. You're not available for that in the same way anymore. And that's why this person is entering now, or why their energy is getting closer now, because something in you has shifted. Your heart may still be tender, your nervous system may still be learning, but your soul is no longer saying yes to connections that make you feel lonely while you're attached. And when I tell you they want to be your safe place, I mean they want to be part of a love that feels aligned, not addictive, a love that feels calm, not confusing, a love where you don't have to keep proving your value just to be treated with care. You won't have to fight for this love. And I feel like safe love may not arrive with fireworks that shake the whole room. It may arrive quietly, through consistency, through somebody doing what they said they would do, through somebody listening the first time, through somebody making space for your feelings without making you regret having them. And maybe that's the most healing part. It won't need to convince you with pressure. It will prove itself through peace. So let this be the message you hold gently, not tightly. You are not being asked to chase. You are not being asked to perform. You are being invited to receive something that doesn't require you to lose yourself in order to be loved.